use this app and make everybody dance. Woohoo! I'm gonna do one of Melanie Miller.
No, no, no,
Look at
you're
me.
not.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have the right to use my.
Oh yes, as soon as it's on social media, it's gone. Joking, guys, joking. Welcome to the podcast, The Millionaire of the Diamonds. Again, this is not a motivational podcast. This is really about transforming oneself. And for me, today's subject, oh my God, Melanie, I have to tell you, Marie-Pierre, the more I dove into it, because we read together, but then, we write the podcast each on our own. And I just kept diving in it. My brain went in so many places. Because this here, it's at all levels. In our Tupperware business, I mean, I've seen not just people become directors, but when they hit the 5-star director, they stop helping people.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, who we really are is, I don't care what title we have, we're all about helping people. And if we don't do that, we're not leaders. We're not leaders. And this is why, sorry guys, to go political here, everybody's serving their own agenda.
Yeah.
As the president example, and it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. And this is when everything starts falling apart. Honestly, like I go, maybe we should teach presidents about leadership. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and interestingly enough, Maria, I fed that information into ChatGPT, and when he produced the thing, he ignored it.
Oh,
And I thought, oh, that's very interesting.
really?
Yeah,
So there's a lot more power behind than we think, eh?
yeah, yeah.
Everything's
Because
controlled.
I used his name and everything, and
It,
it totally ignored it.
really?
Hmm.
Okay, guys. So we can't change them. That was my reel this morning. You can't do anything about these people, right? But obviously, once the title will be gone, and it will be gone, eventually everybody's title is taken away. Character is what is left in the end. So you're going to see my stories, Melanie Miller's scientific explanation behind it, and of course, Marie-Pierre. I'm always excited for her section for the social mirror and how I would actually respond to each one of your questions. So with no further ado, we need to share this with everybody that thinks that they died and went to heaven because they've got this new job. And I think we're going to share with a lot of people today. Marie-Pierre, over to you.
Yeah, so you can share, just click on the arrow beside where you write your comments, so you can share on every social media platform. And in the comments, you have the text that you can copy paste so people understand why they should listen to the podcast this morning. But of course, when you have someone in mind that really needs to hear this podcast, one-on-one is the best way to make sure that they will click on the link, so you can send it directly by messenger or by text message so they can really listen to the podcast. Then we have our contest, Les Millionnaires des Diamants. First, when you go on our Facebook group called Les Millionnaires des Diamants Inspirational Group, every time you post, every time that you comment, every time that you react on the group, you gain points during the month to be in the top 10 contributor. And at the end of the month, the official top 10 get a voucher to go shop on the boutique Les Millionnaires des Diamants. But our top 10 month today, so we have number 10, the page des images et des mots. Number 9, Ibiza. Number 8, Nadia Bonham. Number 7, Nathalie Brochu. Number 6, Linda Casavan. Number 5, Sherry Novak. Number 4, Louise Gauthier. Number 3, Kendra Settingasol. Number 2, Lise Boucher. And number 1, Martha Narel. So congratulations to our top 10 month to date. You have until the end of the month to be in the official top 10. And then we have a draw at the end of each month. So to be in the draw, there's two ways. First, with the Boutique Millionnaires des Diamants. So when you go on the boutique, you place your order, take a picture, and go post on social media and tag Les Millionnaires des Diamants. Then you receive your order again, take a picture, and go post on social media and tag Les Millionnaires des Diamants to be in the draw. And then with the books, Les Millionnaires des Diamants is the second way. So you just receive one of the book, you take a picture, you're reading one of the book, you take a picture, you're doing one of the quiz book, you take a picture, you're doing one of the workbook, you take a picture, you use your agenda Les Millionnaires des Diamants, you can take another picture and always post on social media and tag Les Millionnaires des Diamants to be in the draw at the end end of the month. And last thing, if you don't already have your ticket for the next conference, it's time to go and click on the link to get your ticket. And it's a virtual conference. Yeah, the comments are just entering.
Yeah, I
I
was
saw her face.
I was saying, where's Sherry? Where's Louise? I couldn't get
Yeah,
it. Where's James? Where's Lise?
I
And
knew that
now
it was
you all
working.
appeared. I was beginning to panic. Where's Olga? Okay, guys, everybody's in the house. Jacqueline is in the house. Everybody. Whew, like Marie-Pierre, I was about to tell you. Wait.
But I knew that it was working because on Facebook I can see the comment, but it was just another ring on our screen yet. So it was coming. Okay, so the conference Millionnaires Diamants. So if you don't already have your ticket, click on the link to be with us. And it's a virtual conference, so that means you can join us from all around the world. But for those that want to be with us in the studio in Anjou, send me a message when you get your ticket so I can add you to the list if you want to be in the studio. Voilà.
Thank you so much. So let's dive in, my friends, right away, because Napoleon Hill gives us another major cause of failure in leadership. He calls it the emphasis of title. Oh my gosh. When we were reading this yesterday, after 40 years in business, it was like a movie playing in the back of my head of all these people that I needed to deal with, that really the title got to their heads. Like, you have no idea. Did I ever talk to you about Babu Luga? I think I did. I'll give you other examples today, but that's it. Okay. So he says something incredibly powerful. The competent leader requires no title to give him the respect of his followers. We really need to understand that. Think about that. The competent leader requires no title, no business card, no fancy office, no special parking spot, no applause, no introduction, no rank. People respect them because of who they are, period. Not because of what is printed besides their name. So I'm going to give you a few visuals. I think that I'm really going to dive in with that. So imagine a king walking around all day in his royaume, as we say, his kingdom, as we say in French, royaume, kingdom, reminding everyone he's the king. I'm the king. Don't forget, I'm the king. Treat me like a king. The more he says it, the more ridiculous he is, and the less people will believe that he is the king, right? So, because real kings don't need to remind people they're kings, people already know. Now, this brings me to share with you a little bit something more closer to home. And I'm going to talk about examples in my field when somebody is promoted as a director. Okay. Uh, it's like they died and went to heaven. They stopped doing everything they did to get to that position. 5-star directors, they stop helping people. And I mean, this, I've seen it over and over again. They'll strive, but then that 5-star director, that executive director, that star executive director, even presidential director, they stop doing what they did to build the people. And that always makes me wonder. So they did it for self-fulfilling prophecy. They didn't do it to really help people achieve their dream life. Because if that was the case, wouldn't they still be doing it regardless of the title? Interesting, right? So the thing I remember, okay, let me give you another powerful example. And Melanie, you're going to remember this one. And many in the Tupperware world over 10 years, you're going to remember this one. You would call her, and the voicemail would say something like this. Okay, yes, you have reached X voicemail, 5-star director in North America, #1 in the world. And she actually put a sound in the background of "Wah!" with applause, and I'm going, are you for real? Are you for real? Right? So, I've seen all kinds of this. The entire message was designed to tell you how important she was. And at the time, we found it funny, whatever. But here's the lesson. Within a few short years, she was totally gone. And not only at the bottom of the ladder again, worse than ever before. Titles are just rented. Character is owned. So you got to work on character. And I want to give you one more example of a president. Again, names here don't matter, but those back in the days will remember. Everything revolved around his title. I mean, everything, everything, everything. Looking presidential, appearing successful. There were extravagant expenses, decision designed to create image, not value. We used to call it the president's show when we went to Jubilee. Like, I mean, it was so ridiculous, you know. Even I remember at one point there was a particular camera, $50,000 in an era where Tupperware was having difficulties financially. What a waste of money, not to improve the experience of the audience. No, 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 no. This was to help, this was to help him look better. Better angles, better shots, more attention. And as I watched this unfold, I remember thinking, this isn't leadership, this is performance. Leadership serves others. Leaders are all about, how can I make your life better? How can I make you feel special? And eventually, of course, the title disappeared, so did the influence, and so did the human being. And then I think about our business. You know, I've watched it happen over and over again. You know, people, as soon as they start making money, a little bit of money, clearing their first debt, I'm saying, is this the person that they really were? And why I say this, because a lot of people say, I don't like money. I don't know what it does to people or changes people. And I'm here to tell you something. I want you to listen very, very carefully. When people make more money, it reveals more of who they truly are. So if you're an asshole and you have no money, you're less of an asshole. But if you start making money, then we see your real colors. And if you're a good person, a person of service, servanthood, human being, well, making more money will make you be more of service. I just want you to know, money will reveal more of who you really are. So today I want you to walk away and I want you to question yourself. Who am I really? Titles are rented, character is owned. Because at the end of the day, if you want to build something that will last forever, even after we pass, we need to work on character, and you're going to understand the science, the psychology behind this with Dr. Melanie Miller, that I have to remind everybody her title, doctor, but she'll never say it.
Thank you, Maria. So, Maria's just introduced our 10th and final cause of failure in leadership identified by Napoleon Hill, emphasis of title. For me, this is fascinating because titles themselves are not bad. Titles help organizations function, they provide structure, they clarify responsibilities, they help people understand who is accountable for what. The problem arises when a person begins to believe that their title is their identity, when they believe that respect should be given because of their position rather than because of their character. In other words, they become known for their title rather than for who they are. History provides many examples of leaders who become attached to their position. They begin to believe that the title itself gave them special rights, special privileges, or special importance. And sometimes that can lead to very poor decisions. Because when protecting the title becomes more important than serving the people, leadership begins to fail. Psychologists describe this as something called identity fusion. This occurs when a person becomes so attracted to a role, position, title, or status that they begin to see it as who they are rather than simply what they do. Instead of saying, I'm a person who serves as a leader, they begin saying, I am the leader. The title becomes their source of self worth, their source of confidence, their source of importance. And this creates a dangerous situation because when someone's identity becomes attached to a title, any challenge to that title can feel like a personal attack. Disagreement feels threatening. Questions feel disrespectful. Constructive feedback feels like criticism. And gradually, the person becomes more interested in protecting their position than in learning and growing. Neuroscience helps explain this. The brain naturally seeks status and social recognition. Receiving recognition activates the brain's reward system. Dopamine is released. People feel important, valued, respected. The problem occurs when the brain begins to depend on external status for its sense of value. The individual starts needing more recognition, more authority, and more reminders of their position to maintain the same feeling. In some ways, the title becomes a source of psychological reward. And when that reward is threatened, the brain's threat detection system becomes activated. And that famous amygdala interprets the situation as a danger. Defensiveness increases, humility decreases, listening becomes harder, and learning slows down. Ironically, the very qualities that help someone become a leader begin to disappear. The effect on followers can be significant. People are very good at detecting authenticity. They quickly recognize the difference between a leader who serves from character and a leader who leads from status. When leaders constantly remind people of their title, authority, rank, or position, team members often become less engaged. Psychologically, they begin to think, do they care about the work or do they only care about being important? Do they value my contribution or only their position? Trust can begin to decline. Communication becomes less open. People become less willing to offer ideas or challenge assumptions. Instead of feeling inspired, they simply comply. And compliance is never as powerful as commitment. If we think about the people who have had the greatest impact on our lives, we often remember very little about their titles. What we remember is how they made us feel. We remember their kindness, their generosity, their wisdom, integrity, their encouragement, their belief in us. Those are the things that endure. Very few people attend a funeral and say, what a wonderful vice president. What a wonderful director. What a wonderful executive. Instead, they say, what a wonderful person. What a generous friend. What a caring mentor. What a positive influence. Because character always outlives title. Perhaps this is why Hill included emphasis of title as a cause of leadership failure, because leadership is never about the title, it is about the person carrying the title. Titles may open doors, they may provide opportunities, they may create temporary authority, but character creates lasting influence. And when our leadership journey is over, people will not remember us for the position we held. They will remember us for the qualities we demonstrated when we held it: the kindness, the humility, the courage, the generosity, the integrity. Those are the things that leave a legacy. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson of all. Be known for who you are, not simply for the title you hold. And now I'm going to hand you over to Marie Pierre, who will help us explore whether leadership comes from our title or our character. Over to you, Marie Pierre.
Thank you, Annie. So yes, because we understand that it's not a problem to have a title. That's not the problem. The danger comes when your title becomes your all identity. So when your sense of worth becomes attached to your position, because position will change in your life, your business will change, life will change, and you know what? Retirement will come one day. So you need to realize that if your identity is attached to your title, so what will happen when your title disappears? So the quiz will help you discover whether your confidence comes from who you are or from what you do. So let's start this quiz. So for each question, you can answer A, B, or C. And after that, I will give you the details. So let's start with question number one. So someone introduce you without mentioning your position or your rank or achievement. So how do you feel? A, I feel slightly overlooked. B, it doesn't bother me much, or C, I'm perfectly fine with it. Number 2. When people ask who you are, what comes out first? A, my profession or my position. B, a mix of what I do and who I am. Or C, my value, my passion, or my purpose. Question number 3. So imagine retiring tomorrow. What emotion comes up first? A, fear of losing importance. B, uncertainty. Or C, curiosity about the next chapter. Question number 4. You walk into a room where nobody knows your experience or achievement. So do you A, feel the need to prove yourself? B, you wait and see? Or C, you don't feel the need to prove anything? And question number 5. What compliment means the most to you? A, you're successful. B, you're impressive. Or C, you're trustworthy. So did you get mostly A's, mostly B's, or mostly C's? So if you have it mostly A, you might be the title seeker. So you are ambitious, you work hard, you care deeply about achievement, but part of you and part of your self-worth may be tied to recognition, position, status, or accomplishment. So the danger is that title is temporary. So when your confidence comes from external recognition, it will rise and falls with circumstances. So your next level will be is to build confidence based on your character instead of status. So ask yourself, who am I when nobody is watching? That will help you to really build your confidence based on your character. Then, if you have mostly B's, now you are the balance builder. So you appreciate the achievement, but you also understand that success is about more than titles. So you are learning to separate who you are from what you do. So your challenge is making sure that your identity continues to grow even as your accomplishment will grow. So ask yourself, if I lost the position today, would I keep the confidence that I have now? So to make sure that you are aligned. And if you have it mostly C's, now you're the character leader. So you understand that position will come and go, so character will remain. You don't need a title to feel valuable. You don't need recognition to know your worth. You understand that leadership is something you do, not something printed on your business card. So your challenge is to continue leading through service, contribution, and example, because people may forget your title, but they will rarely forget your character. So now, before I leave you with the close, I have just a reflection to it. So now I want you to imagine that you are at your retirement party. So now the microphone is passed around the room. So what do you think people will say? They will say, oh, she was a great director. She was a successful executive. She had an impressive title. Or do you think that they will say, oh, she always believed in me? Or it made people feel so important. She was trustworthy. Or it made a difference in my life. So which one of the list do you think that people will tell at your retirement party? Because, of course, the second one has nothing to do with your title. It has everything to do with your character. So, 3 daily practice to build your character over a title. Number 1, you want to celebrate someone without mentioning yourself. So when someone succeeded, don't tell the story about how you helped them. Don't explain your contribution. Simply celebrate them. Number 2, build qualities that nobody can take away. So every morning you can ask yourself, what am I developing today that no title can give me or no title can take away? So for example, I will try to work on my patience, on my discipline, on my integrity, my courage, my listening, my humility, reliability. So that those things, it's nothing can take it from your character. And number 3, you want to focus on impact instead of recognition. So at the end of each day, you can ask yourself, whose life is better because I showed up today? Someone maybe that you encourage, someone that needed to be listened to, someone that needed to be taught something, or maybe you inspire someone. So the greatest leaders stop chasing that importance, but they start creating impact. So the people who will stop needing recognition often receive the most respect. So again, we have to remember one day the title will disappear. but the way that you treat people will always remain. So we want to keep that in mind. So on that, I wish you a beautiful day, and we'll continue with the podcast tomorrow morning. Bye, everyone.